Hello guys, I'm making this video because I had done a poll on my channel recently and had asked people whether they would like to hear my thoughts or not of the future of Genesis Order or where it's heading currently and my thoughts on the current storyline. So this will be till version 23 or 23%. So if you haven't played it, I suggest not watching this and playing that update and then coming back later if you're interested in hearing my thoughts. That is. Okay, so without further ado, just let's get started. So first things first, my thoughts on William. He's the current MC. So yeah, so visual differences is he's a bit older, he's a bit muscular than Henry. I don't know why this was taken into account. I think so the developer got a lot of feedback about Henry, or they needed a sort of mature MC rather than Henry. Personally, I had no problems with Henry whatsoever. He was sort of this cool guy in, he had a certain innocent vibe to him, which people could relate to. I mean, the guy literally sold his soul to Madeline to, get it down. So that's mostly relatable, but yeah. So we'll just see how things go with William, throughout the course of this game. So the next one is William is overconfident, cocky, and insubordinate. You can find all these qualities or traits scattered throughout till 23%, but mostly you can find all this in the very first update of TGO. So that is when he's at his desk and guys literally playing loot games on his office computer and gets caught by his supervisor, and then at the same I think it's a cursed office computer, to be honest, and then he hacked into Melissa's account and also researched the guild files and gets caught by his top supervisor, that is Commissioner Kimura. Andrea, I love that girl, woman, sorry. So he has like a string of breadcrumbs like lead to nowhere. I mean, if you're having a mature MC, I mean, he should, be able to like uh, not have these trails which lead back to his faults, I believe. And yeah, as I said, not too gullible as Henry, but I still like Henry. Personal bias. Yeah, and he's not too gullible as Henry, but also not bright. As I mentioned, a few examples just a couple of minutes back. Yeah, and I really hate this. So this guy cares too much about feelings than loot scenes. Precisely. So if you look at Brad from Lust Epidemic or you look at Henry, so these two were down, like to do anything whatsoever. As it meant to like go down with women. This guy, so if you remember, there's a scene with Erica. So he threw Erica under the bus and went rushing back to Hannah and Chloe to patch things up because they're his childhood friends, whatever. So and yeah, let's just see how that plays out. And while we're on that topic, I really like Hannah's character, but Chloe, not so much, not so much. So, character resemblances from Ton. I'm sure you guys would have noticed this by now, but this is just a refresher. So, Heather is completely inspired by Janet, but in this case, Heather throws himself at William, but since William cares a lot about feelings, then going down, he rejects her. So I don't know how this story or like how this character will develop and how William will seduce her or vice versa. So let's just see. Oh my god. So this one is an important character. I really liked Naomi in Treasure of Nadia, and I really like Carol in TGO. So in Treasure of Nadia. Naomi, when I was uploading my walkthroughs as well, she used to get a lot of hate in the comment section. Like, who is this? Why is she like, why is she all over the place? I personally liked Naomi. She straight up carried the game. For she had it was because of her that Henry was able to get down with Tasha, and also Sophia, Alia, that scene with them, and also Janet. So she was the one that carried the whole game, and Carol is the same has the same, I think so, character arc as Naomi, but she's like toned down in a bit, like all the extreme qualities which Naomi had. So Carol's are a bit scaled down, but I just hope that they're not scaled down too much because I really like Carol's character, and I think so. It like having some qualities of Naomi should not like be too much to ask for. Next is the obvious. Sophia. Andrea is inspired by Sophia. I mean, long ass mansion with art. So you think of Andrea. But in this case, she's not that old, or we don't know that yet. So, and once you enter a house, you can actually see all. It's like a museum, right? In the latest update, even you saw that. So there's a certain mystery to the character which I like, and I certainly like these three milks like standing out. Uh, I like other characters as well, but some of them have not been introduced or their arcs haven't been that potent to comment on. But these three are definitely in the top books, and Melissa as well. So next is yeah, this is my favorite. So Hannah is like I don't want to say this in a rude way, but she's like the smart version of Alia. So people really hated Alia, I think so, in the previous game, but I really liked her. So she was this naive, cute person who was very trusting, and Hannah is like the more confident version of her. So people are actually attracted to Hannah more, but that doesn't give them the right to diss on Alia. That's just my personal opinion. Next is oh my god, I don't even want to say it. I really like Kaylee a lot more than Chloe, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling Chloe vibes. It may be just me, but if you feel any other way, you can just write down in the comments and we can talk about it. Next is oh. So if you remember Tasha, she was like the girl who didn't think twice about saying something or getting down. So Ella is that sort of Ella's those traits come from Tasha. So at least I believe so. So and yeah, she has a certain mystery like toward her, and obviously she's inspired from a famous personality, which you all know from the pink hair, but those pink hairs aren't genuine, right? I mean, she does have a certain mystery to it. Maybe we'll uncover that, or maybe not. Let's just see. Next is this is what I personally feel with respect to the game mechanics and whatnot from TGO. That is using Treasure of Nadia to save TGO, as in. So, first things first are game mechanics. Those are house upgrades. They are taken from the previous games. Next is Ariana. She's the Evie-like character, but instead, she's an angel. Evie wasn't. And we also have artifacts in Treasure of Nadia. Oh, sorry, in the Genesis Order. In Treasure of Nadia, we had talismans, and we sold them to Diana. And here we sell it to John. So and the booty call mechanics are also there. So I have no concern. I have no ill thought of booty calls because it was there since last epidemic. So that was quite cool. Next is I think really the RPM engine shows its age here, but let me be quite frank about this. I have not seen any other developer push RPGM to its limits than NLT. So this guy, even if you look at like Lust Epidemic or Treasure of Nadia or Genesis Order, this is like pure bliss to play. It actually feels like playing a game. I'm glad that it's not Ren'Py, but I had wished that like Tan was a step upgrade from Lust Epidemic. I thought that TGO would also be, you know, a step up. So I was hoping on the lines of Unreal or, you know, those engines. So now Unreal 5 has got, you know, an upgrade. So I just hope that if the developers of this game plan to continue the franchise, they would move to that rather than stick to RPG. But hey, but RPGM works for them, then it's good. That's all I can say. Next is, yeah, this is like so if you would have noticed, I get that this is a trilogy, but in Treasure of Nadia 2, Brad didn't came to save the day that too often, right? The problem with TGO is Tan was such a huge success. I personally when I read comments on my videos which I had posted, so people were a fan of Diana, Madeline, Janet, Naomi, and I think so Sophia. So these were the top 5, and plus Claire too. Sorry, my bad. Nothing against redheads. So they want. So whenever I see, whenever I post a video on TGO, people are asking. They want to see more characters from Tan because one, they say that the characters from Tan are more hotter than TGO. I don't think so. Just give the character cast of TGO a chance. But yeah, I do agree that Tan characters had a certain allure about them. So, and we're 23% in this update, 23% in the game, and we have seen Diana more. So I don't know. I don't think so. She should be involved more if the developers want us to focus on TGO. I mean, this is like Ton 2. You know, I think William will lose all his charm, or if he has any, but that's just my opinion on it. If you have any thoughts on this, just you know, just comment below and we can talk about it. And yeah, puzzles. So I'm a fan of puzzles. If you see my channel, I had videos showing walkthroughs of each and every puzzle guide there is, and that too has been implemented in TGO. I mean, if you read the Patreon reports, there are puzzles coming in. I think so. I don't know when, but they're planned. So that too has been taken out from the success of Tan to TGO. And I get that certain people hate puzzles, but yeah, this too has been taken from the previous game. Fishing, I hate this. You know why I hate this? Because it's RNG based. So in layman terms, RNG means luck. It doesn't matter if I have how many int or strength parameters or what gear I have to catch a particular fish. But if it depends on RNG, then the entire argument is moot. It doesn't make sense. So this has the fishing in Tan had nothing to do with, you know, what sort of bait you had and whatnot. Firstly, you had to get to spawn that fish. Spawning Bruce was a bitch. I'll say that on record. And in TGO, I'm scared that the developers will add fishing again because there was a dock. If you see the map, there's a dock in the map. So I think that they're gonna add fishing. I personally think that they shouldn't. And if they want to, make it less RNG based. That's all. Next is TGO woman cast and thoughts. Okay, let's begin. Heather. First with Heather. She's attracted towards advances too on MC, but yeah. So this is just William answering to his feelings more than getting down. But yeah, someone has to act mature, but Heather doesn't. So this is showing that, or maybe she just doesn't care. Carol, I loved her. I love her. So this is just a personal bias I'm throwing towards Carol, but because her character is so good, and it takes so much from Naomi, and all the qualities which I like. So yeah, but just she's been nerfed down a bit. She's not allowed to go full extreme like Naomi did. Kimberly, yeah, we don't know much about her. We only saw her in the very first update where she was talking about arrests, and she was talking about the virus. So you can just open your scene player from your phone, and there's actually you can hear commentary when you visit Hannah in her house, and she's watching the TV, and Kimberly's on the news. So yeah, she looks good, but we don't know much about her and what's her angle or whatnot. So next is Melissa. I really like her character. I mean, she's a definite hard ass, and she hates MC. I mean, obviously, if I had a subordinate who was watching lewd games on lewd games on his office computer, then obviously you wouldn't like them as well, right? You would want them fired. I mean, I'm honestly thinking why MC hasn't been fired from his job recently. Next is Chloe. Yeah, so she is MC's close friend, childhood friend, and she was approached by Madeline as well. So first she went to Jude. If you watch the first update again, you will know that she went to Judy. Then she was approached by Madeline to advance towards Parker and his particular agenda. So, but I don't like her. I don't know. It's just me, guys. You may like her, but I don't. Then Judy, she's a sister at the church, and she has a weird thing of like watering plants because that's the only thing we know. She only needs MC in her. So we met her, I think so, twice. The first one was in her room per se. So first one was there was a spider, giant spider, and then two, William watered the plants. The second time, William too watered the plants, but it got physical. So maybe she has. So the second part was escalated due to Madeline. I mean, she was having some charm done towards Judy to like come towards the dark side or something like that. So, but yeah, Judy's cool. I like her character. She's nice. Next is Ella. Okay, this bold streaming enthusiast and likes to collect katanas and film people. Yes. So when I say film people, the very first scene of her and William, she filmed it, and she has it like uh, she has it like to like call William whenever she requires him or needs assistance or she's just bored. So it's kind of sort of like good to have that sort of uh thing like thing or evidence on a detective. So yeah, we'll see later on in the game like how her story particularly unfolds because come on, man, it's like no one has pink hair. I mean, originally. Hannah, I really like her character, the redhead. She's also MC's childhood or close friend, and unlike Alia, she's more confident and bold and knows what to speak and how to be dominant one than MC. I think so, and she actually looks and acts like Carol's daughter, and they have the southern accent, which is really nice. Lillian, we don't know much about her. She's a mysterious woman, a lot of red flags. So particularly, there's a lot of development, and then the lewd scenes go down. With Lillian, the problem, or not the problem, it was actually a smart move. My book at least, like you had the lewd scene first, but you don't know the character. So MC is like, yeah, she's the rich girl at the mansion who just lost her father, but we don't know nothing about her. And we only know her from the very first scene that she was collecting juices or something. I don't know, in a jar. So, like, that's the sole mystery towards her. So, I think so. First, the loot scenes happen, and then there's development. I personally like this, at least for Lillian. I'm not sure about others. For Lillian, I like the story arc. I'm personally interested in what route has been planned, but yeah, it's keeping me on my toes. Next is Erica. I love Erica. She's great. I mean, we didn't have such sort of personality in the previous game, which was so forward and so nice. So she's the maid at the mansion, friends with benefits sort of relationship with MC, and she's also helping him to uncover mysteries at the mansion, like keeping a sly eye over Lillian. So if you know this, that she recovered a phone, and it was like it had some messages on Amulet K or something. I don't know. It was not Amulet K, but um, it was something on the lines of Charles. Uh, I'll just get back to it. I'm not recalling, but it was two unknown people. If you remember in the chat, please tell me what it was. So next is Nelly. She's Tasha's mom, same personality. So I'm really interested to see a more mature version of Tasha, because Tasha in herself was insane. Insane in a good way. And then we have Nelly. So I'm really looking forward to, uh, exploring Nelly's character and her persona and what her angle is in the game. Next is Andrea. I really love Andrea, man. She's so good. And she's the commissioner. She's a dignified personality like Sophia. So obviously, being the commissioner, she's playing a lot of cards close to her chest. We don't know them yet. And with the dinner, she told us that she wants us to be the face. You know, she wants I mean William, to be the face of the investigation and look good for the camera. So obviously she has something planned in the background, but that we don't know it. So let's see how it goes. Next is future stuff and predictions. This, okay, this is important. So you remember in Treasure of Nadia we had those stupid Kasula temple rituals? I hated those. I don't know if people had very mixed opinions about those because they were over the top. So where Erica finds that phone in Charles' study. So MC discusses the Toma Lielo statues. So she tells us that there are 6 pieces currently, and we found one. So the first one, we get near that waterfall, and there's a scene played with Hannah and Chloe. So she tells us that there are 5 more pieces. So I think so we will have sort of like those scenes from Treasure of Nadia, which I didn't like, and maybe that Kasula temple ones, like that gives MC like insane powers or something. It's particularly related to loot scenes. So just let me know your thoughts on this too. Next is there's a rumor going on. I don't know in the forums if you would have seen. So Ella may be Andrea's daughter, which she mentions. So it may be Ella Kimura. So let's. There's no substantial evidence, but I could only find these. She mentions she has a son and a daughter, both about your age. She emphasizes more on the daughter. So, and obviously she has a katana in her room. Yeah. So this can be a possibility. I think so. This is like 60%. She can be like what do you call Andrea's daughter. But if till we have future, till we get more evidence, I'll just hold on to this claim. So Next is general feedback and thoughts. First is, yeah, less RNG. Obviously, with the fishing, I've covered that before. Next is, yeah, so there's a lot less grinding in TGO. And plus, with that int parameter, which we have, um, mm, the price of goods, of the artifacts which we sell, goes up. So that is good, at least. Next is, yeah, this is just a personal preference of mine. More one-on-one scenes with the MC and other women. So if you looked at Ton, I have nothing about this game. That game was marvelous, and I think so. It can be remade. So it was like the the orgy started like midway to mid game to like uh prior to like late end game, so right there about like 50 to 70% mark, whereas in my opinion orgy should start like late in the game, like 80 to like 90%. So so in that part you should cover all the threesomes which are there, like from like 60 to 70% maybe, and then or like say 70 to 80, I think so. And from till 70%, I think so, there should be more one-on-one scenes uh with MC, that is William, and with the other movement. So uh what happened in Treasure of Nadia was there was the virus is here too, but it's like Treasure of Nadia was so compact, and it was it made it difficult to have one-on-one scenes because Henry was insane. He was like this ultimate persona who wanted to get laid. Nothing more. He wanted nothing more than getting laid. I mean, the guy was so insane, and I props to that guy. He even got down with a 452-year-old, so that was an achievement in itself. And also, he landed the succubus on top of it. So nothing against Henry and nothing against William as well, but I generally feel that if there is some sort of direction to be followed till 70% or 65 to 70%, there should be more one-on-one scenes. Then you should proceed to threesomes and then to orgies, like the end game tier material. So yeah, so this is basically done to get more development in between the characters. So my favorite goals till now, I just thought I'll put it out here. So it's Andrea, Carol, Hannah, Lillian, and Erica. Ella, sorry. I don't want to talk about this. So this is just a wish list. If someone before anyone asks in the comments, I just wanted to point it out that this is my wish list. And I don't know these. I just want to post a disclaimer that I honestly don't know whether these will be in the game or not, but if possible I would like to see the scene. So I don't know if someone from the content creator team is watching, but hey, a shout out will be nice. It's Heather, Carol, MC. So in the very first update you clearly see the connection between the MILFs, so this has to be there in the game. If it's not, then I'll genuinely be sad. I mean, come on. Next is the detectives. Andrea. So you need the commissioner, you need the boss, and you obviously need the guy who watches lewd scenes on the office desktop. So that's a given. I mean, if this isn't there in the game, I don't know what they're doing. Honestly, I'm already throwing softballs till now. Next is Lillian, Erica, and MC. So there's already this sort of scene in the game. But yeah, I would like to see more. Let's see. Have Erica and Lillian go nuts? Why not? Next is Chloe, Hannah, and Judy and MC. So this has to be with Chloe is like Chloe and MC are there. So Chloe has connections with both Hannah and Judy. So she met Judy at SDU. Then she also meets her in North Santiva at the church. So she already has a connection with her, and Chloe also has a connection with Hannah. So Hannah, Chloe, MC are childhood friends. So I think so. there can be one scene with Chloe Hannah MC and other with Chloe Judy MC. Maybe. So I think these are like these can be implemented in the game, and let's see if they're there or not. Yeah. So that brings us to the end of this video. So if you liked it, just let me know in the comments, then I'll continue making more of these. And also a shout out to all the channel members. Thank you so much. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. All right, bye bye, take care.